Let's be honest. In their sixth decade of rocking and rolling around the planet, AC/DC really have no business still being half as good a live act as they actually are. And yet here they are, still keeping tens of thousands of listeners utterly ensconced, singing, jumping, and rocking along for 2 hours on an unseasonably cold and windy night. In front of the best part of 70,000 baying fans in their first Sydney show in a decade, the Hometown Heroes, undoubtedly Australia's greatest band, put on a show that, while no doubt not quite at the level of their heyday last century, was still one to remember. This is where all this started, 50 years ago, frontman Brian Johnson tells the crowd, adding in a few expletives for good measure. In the last week, the city's hard rock and heavy metal fans have been treated to performances by two of the top three highest-selling bands from the extended genre. Last Saturday, Metallica paid homage to their Australian forebears, pumping the crowd up with a recording of It's a Long Way to the Top, If You Want to Rock and Roll, before a mid-set jam to For Those About to Rock, We Salute You. Last night, it was the real deal, and AC/DC put on a show that reminded everyone in attendance why they've been lauded for decades as one of the great live acts going around. The band is very much the Johnson, and even more so Angus Young show, although it feels like the latter has always been the case. While there's something ever so slightly jarring about a silver-haired 70-year-old running around the stage in a school uniform, it still works. Young's energy belies his age, and his chops on the guitar remain almost undiminished. From the opening rumblings of If You Want Blood, You've Got It, to the final crescendo and explosions of Long Time Closer For Those About to Rock, the crowd bops and sings along. As you'd expect, the biggest cheers come for classics Back in Black and Thunderstruck, as well as Bon Scott-era staples Highway to Hell and TNT, but with such an extensive catalog of crowd-pleasing hits, there are few songs that aren't completely and utterly lapped up. Just as Melbourne was earlier this month, Sydney was treated to a performance of Jailbreak, after it had spent decades out of the set list, and it too was enthusiastically welcomed. Ordinarily, this would be a gig you'd just want to be at, the country's best-selling musical act, in their home city, putting on a trademark compelling and loud show, fireworks, flames, 15-minute guitar solo and all. But, as more than a few nearby fans noted, there's a chance this could be AC/DC's final tour on Australian soil. It also may very well not be, but few would bet on that being the case if it's going to be another 10 years between drinks. And when you take that into account, it's very much a show any Aussie rock fans won't want to miss.